Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, a very special review for you, Raw review. I am joined by my radio show co-host, TNA TJ is here with us. TJ watched Raw with me tonight, so we're going to evaluate Raw, we're going to talk about it, and we're going to tell you guys what we think right here and now. It's the Raw review from the Kick-Ass Wrestling Show, Big Al and TNA TJ. Tonight on Raw, ladies and gentlemen, more hype for the Fatal 4-Way pay-per-view coming up next month. A lot involving these four wrestlers, Edge, Cena, Orton, and Sheamus. And then out of nowhere, Evan Bourne gets thrown into the mix. He's the first thing that we really see, him and Edge getting into it on Raw. And then later on we find out John Cena, it's his mystery partner. What'd you think of Evan Bourne on Raw tonight?
He did a good finisher move. Other than that, I didn't really care for I don't like tag teams like that.
Thrown together like that.
Yeah, right.
But you see the purpose, right?
No, I see. They're pushing him over.
For the pay-per-view.
It's a good guy to push him over.
And they're pushing Evan Bourne.
I mean, who could you get any better?
He's too small.
Yeah. I know, but
he's extremely tiny. I don't mind Evan Bourne, but he needs to just be a cruiserweight. He needs to be the Rey Mysterio. Not even the Rey Mysterio, because they push Rey Mysterio like a heavyweight.
Right.
It's unrealistic. He looks like a little kid in the ring with those guys tonight.
Right, yeah.
So I like Evan Bourne. He's cool, but not in the main event.
Right.
Maybe it's a one-time little thing tonight to push him.
Yeah.
I hope they don't keep that up.
Well, you'll find out next week.
We'll definitely find that out. Did you like the little thing that they had with Kutcher where he was, I guess, he had a hit out on Zack Ryder?
No.
And they had a couple of people. First it was supposed to be Jerry Lawler, which I like that part.
Right.
Jerry Lawler came out with a chair, looked like he might hit him. I was hoping he would.
Then a bunch of bums.
And then a bunch of bums, the Great Khali,
right.
Goldust.
That was okay.
And then all of a sudden, Alicia Fox turned on him, and the crowd couldn't care less.
Nope.
I love Alicia Fox. I think she's so sexy. But apparently the crowd was not interested in that turn or Zack Ryder. Do you like Zack Ryder?
No.
You're very quick on that.
It's very flat.
Okay. Bret Hart, who's the new GM of Raw, came out, and he announced that there would be a big 3-hour Raw, and it would be called Viewer's Choice. The viewers are going to get to pick. I imagine this will be done by what? Phone call? Internet?
Yeah,
well, they've done Cyber Sunday over the internet before.
Right.
They said this is the first time, so I imagine maybe phone calls?
No.
Of some sort? No? Internet?
Yeah.
Texting?
A poll.
Maybe some texting?
That's true. Could be texting.
They need to get crazy.
Standard rates apply.
Standard rates apply. Viewer's choice.
Right.
They're calling it. 3 hours right here in Miami. What do you think of that?
That's cool. 3 hours.
You like it?
I won't watch.
Do you think they're biting off TNA though? Because TNA just recently did this with their little top 10 thing. The fans voted.
Sort of.
Desmond Wolfe got his match.
Sort of.
Sort of. Not completely.
Right.
I like the idea. I think it could be a successful and a fun night. I think it'll be a little crazy. Things might not, might have no rhythm to it. I think it just could be wild. If they really go through with that, if they let the fans actually pick. What would you pick? What kind of match would you like to see on Raw? I'd pick the craziest matches. Where's the fire match and the Inferno match?
This is PG though.
So what? If the viewers, it's the viewer's choice.
It's not going to be there. Well, they can't.
Viewer's choice, Raw. Then we get into the good stuff because out of nowhere comes your buddy Vince McMahon.
There he is.
Vince McMahon comes out doing the waddle.
That's great. That was
we
my
all
favorite
love
part
to
of the
see.
show.
That was your favorite part?
Yeah, with Bret Hart.
Vince McMahon's always the best.
Yeah.
And yeah, when he got in there with Bret, I thought that whole Vince McMahon Bret thing was done. Apparently we were wrong. The internet, which is wrong quite a bit, reported that was it. Vince McMahon was retiring the Mr. McMahon character.
Right.
Maybe not yet. He came out. I guess he wanted to give a reason. How did Bret become GM if Vince owns the WWF and they just had this huge feud? So he said perhaps he's, just wants to wish him luck. He thinks he's the best man for the job, or perhaps he wants revenge and he's setting Bret up. What do you think it is?
He's setting him up.
He's setting him up. So I can't wait. That was probably the most exciting thing on Raw tonight. And the only real thing to kind of look forward to is Vince going to keep messing with Bret? Are we going to see him next week?
Yes.
Is Bret's life as GM going to become hell?
Yes.
And that'll be fun to watch.
And he doesn't want to quit.
And I love Vince McMahon as a character. It's sad, right, that we're getting the most enjoyment out of like the oldest guys on the show.
Right.
Bret Hart and Vince. Vince McMahon got the biggest pop of the night.
Huge.
The biggest face pop of the night. And when he said, who's here to see Vince and who's here to see Bret, it was 50-50, if not 60-40 Vince McMahon.
I would say 60-40.
60-40 Vince McMahon.
Oh, man.
So the crowd loves Vince McMahon.
Yes,
they were popping hard.
I missed him.
I want to talk about what the hell is going on with this tag team I was so excited about last week. The Samoan tag team that we didn't know anything about looked like just a badass Samoan team coming out with Jimmy Snuka's daughter. There was a big mistake tonight.
Right.
They let them pick up a microphone, and it was a disaster.
All of them.
For all of them. Look, Rikishi's kids were talking gangster. They were straight up hip hop. And these are Samoans. They were bragging, we're into fashion. They were dressed like GQ.
Right.
I wasn't looking for a GQ Samoan tag team. I was thinking old school, kick ass, stomp your teeth in, get your hands dirty tag team. And we get Harlem Heat 2010.
Right.
It was Harlem Heat.
Yeah, I know.
Ridiculous. And then Jimmy Snuka's daughter gets on the mic, and she's just as terrible on the microphone.
Bad.
Hart Dynasty comes out of nowhere. I like that they let them kick the Hart Dynasty's ass.
I was surprised.
Destroy the Hart Dynasty.
I was really surprised.
You know, faces. How often, right, do you see the faces come out to get a save or kick someone the heel's ass and just get beat up?
Yeah, blew them up.
Blew them up. So the wrestling, cool, but the characters and the personalities on those Samoans, awful, awful. It's gonna ruin them. It's gonna ruin them. I hope they change that.
I don't get it.
They could be a real serious team. I don't like this whole.
I mean, they don't have to be total Samoan with their shirts off.
They don't have to be total Samoan,
Right.
but hip hop, you know,
This doesn't
Public
fit
Enemy, you know, that's not what I'm going for. GQ, Samoan tag team, that's not what I think of when I think of Rikishi and Jimmy Snuka.
Right.
I don't think of GQ gangsters, okay? That's just me. I don't think that's where they should go.
I agree.
That is it for Raw. So the good on Raw tonight, I thought there were some good matches. R-Truth against Jericho was a good match. I thought the main event was pretty good with Evan Bourne. Again, I don't know about pushing him as a main eventer, but I thought the wrestling was pretty decent tonight overall. The bad, Ashton Kutcher, and the guest spot, seemingly now every week, sucks.
Yeah.
It's almost the worst part of Raw, I think, every single week.
The A-Team next week.
The A-Team next week.
How's
How's that going to be?
I don't know, that might be good. Rampage
Looks like it
Jackson.
could be.
Good.
Rampage Jackson, who just got his ass beat.
Yeah, but he's a tough guy.
He
He
has
didn't
to
get his
be.
ass beat.
Well, he lost. I'm going to give Raw tonight a C+. I thought Raw was a good show overall. I enjoyed most of it, but it had its parts. It was boring in spots. The guest GM part, you know, continues to be bad. What are they doing with DiBiase? You know, there's some complaints I have. Why is, you know, Kozlov and Santino front and center on Raw? There's a lot of questions, but the good, Vince and Brett, was a lot of fun to watch.
I made it for me.
The main event was good. R-Truth and Jericho, I thought, was pretty decent. So I'm going to give it a C+. It was a little better than average. So we'll see you for the TNA Impact review. And of course, every Saturday at 6, what should they be doing?
They should be listening to a radio show.
Yeah, the Big Al Show. Big Al, TNA TJ, every Saturday, 6 o'clock. All the latest TNA and WWE news, rumors, results, and a lot of trash talking.
Trash.
blogtalkradio.com/The Big Al Show. Thanks for joining us. Please subscribe. We need all of you to be our subscribers to the Kick-Ass Wrestling Show right here on YouTube. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Good night.
Peace.
And good luck.